We are very excited to kick off Kitchen Design Week with this session with Bev McGill. Thank you for joining me, Bev. I'm your host, Sam Wiebe, and we are going to be talking about how trends and product innovations push the boundaries of creativity for designers. We're going to be challenging some traditional design concepts, introducing some new trends, and addressing the hesitations that often come with something new in both homeowners and designers. Bev is a passionate advocate for her dealer accounts. She's always trying to highlight her designers and just really appreciate her sense of style and her love for her dealers and her clients. So thanks for joining us today, Bev.
Thank you, Sarah. It's fun to be here.
Yeah. All right, to get this conversation started, why don't we talk a little bit about what trend you are personally excited about this year?
Well, one of the trends that I think is a sort of a non-traditional trend is that designers are taking cabinets outside of the kitchen. So yes, they've been in the bathroom and the laundry room, but taking it to the office, taking it to the closet, taking it to the bedroom, taking it to the dining room. And that's the trend that I think is so great. And we have so many great designers that are so creative, and there's no limits, nothing to hold them back.
Right, and there's a lot of different price points as well, so you can have different cabinetry in different rooms at different price points. I really love how you can really personalize the cabinetry and make it fit the space, whereas if you're going to opt for furniture in some of those applications, you might not have the same level of customization as cabinetry does.
Right, and that's one that we've got a picture here from Candace. She did this beautiful vanity with great legs on it, and it could be a vanity as she's done it, but it could also be as a buffet in your dining room. It could be in your bedroom as a chest of drawers, and you can customize it so the drawers are designed to fit what you need in it, whether it's your silverware, your napkins, whatever it may be. And that's really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Jewelry, other sorts of
yes. Taking
inserts.
to the closets is a whole nother conversation. There is so much you can do at every level, whether it's jewelry, sweaters, pants, scarves, belts, anything like that. And so that's where we see so many Zona Vida creative closets from our designers.
Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of that at KBIS this year. There was quite a few innovative closet solutions.
Yes, and paired with our lighting, it's just, it pulls it all together with the perfect mood. And so that nice, when you wake up in the morning and you're going into your closet, you can have that soft lighting and you don't have to be under a harsh light first thing in the morning.
Right.
And to show off, whether it's your shoes or your clothing or your handbags, it's wonderful.
Yeah, you want them to look like statement pieces
Yes.
because you paid a little bit of money for them. So.
Some of them you have, some of you have.
All right. So trends are just the start of an evolution in design. They're an indicator of change, of movement forward. I think homeowners fear that trends can be just a passing phase. They're a little bit worried that they may not have longevity. So how can we convince homeowners or even designers that this is something that is a long-term design movement?
Yeah, I think people get afraid of trends because it's a big investment, and so you're scared that that investment won't pay off long term, or it'll be dated too quickly. And it's funny, starting off in the fashion industry, fashion repeated itself every so many years. And I see that in the cabinet industry too. Mid-century modern came back around. Shag carpet came back around. I think that some of the pinks that we've been seeing mirror the peaches from the 80s. Mm-hmm. So some of that comes around. But one thing that I think that we do is case edge band matching, which I think is fabulous because you can put in a beautiful reeded door. And if that reeded door nobody has it in 5 or 10 years, you can just replace the door. And that is such a great way for homeowners to take advantage of the trends and not be scared. And then here we've got a ton of different examples of taking that trend one step and then a bit bolder and then bolder yet. And that's where it can be really fun.
Right, and I think that's where designers' creativity really comes into play, where how can you implement these trends so things look current and fashionable, but do it in a way that really appeases the homeowner and is comfortable for them, so that we have a few different examples of some more accessible ways to implement a trend, and then all the way up to like that customer who just wants the most boldest, fun design possible. In addition to new trends, homeowners can struggle to accept bold design choices, whether it's color or pattern or cabinet finishes. Why do homeowners hesitate when it comes to these bold choices?
I think it goes back, and I think back to when I've worked on my homes, is that you don't want to make a wrong decision, and you don't want to all of a sudden it's out of date in a year or 2 years. You know, you want something that sort of has that longevity and lasts and always looks fresh. And of course, changing it up with accessories is a fast and easy way to do it. But I think that, again, the case edge band matching is a fabulous way to swap that door out. And doors, you know, you don't have to replace the full cabinet. A door is a quick and easy way to do so.
Do you think resale value has any bearing
Yes,
there?
and I mean, we, you know, you see so much with realtors where they're like, don't personalize your home, don't make it too personal. But I also think that home for most people is their sanctuary, and you want to feel that warmth and some personality in it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having a little bit of personality. Doesn't mean your fridge needs to have 100 magnets on it, but it's something that speaks to you, that gives you sort of that warm hug.
Yeah, I think sometimes people confuse personality with maybe taking it into your own hands and maybe making some wrong choices. But when you're working with a designer, you really can't go wrong, because they are the ones with the expertise. They know how to implement whatever dreams that you have in the most beautiful way possible. So someone can come into your home in 10 years when you're ready to sell, and I think it'll still look really great and fashionable and intentional.
Yes, and I think, you know, the number one thing for resale is not swapping out your entire kitchen, but it's painting some walls and giving them that fresh color, especially if you have something that you can work with and just layer over the years. And our designers are fabulous. They're going to make you feel comfortable and steer you into that design that works great for you.
I think it's also important to note that a lot of trends and innovations come from a place of improvement for longevity, affordability. Do you think it's important to share the reasons why these trends are coming into play with clients or with designers?
I think it's important depending on the client. I think the client will dictate to you, and we've seen it all over. Sometimes it's regional, West Coast versus East Coast. You know, sometimes it's city versus more rural areas. All of that sort of depends on making that client feel comfortable. But I also think it's good to give a little encouragement and a little push, and to make them feel good about that decision, because it is good to have. The world would all look the same if we all had a 5-piece or shaker door style.
Right.
You know, we need to have that little bit of innovation and just keep pushing it and make it work for everyone.
And not everyone's going to be happy with something that's a little more safe. There are definitely those people out there that want to challenge tradition and step outside the box a little bit.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, powder rooms are the perfect way to really go wild and be crazy. And I think laundry rooms too. I mean, you know, laundry is a task we all have to do, so let's have fun with it. Let's be bold.
Yeah.
Let's make it that statement.
Do we want to start showing some of these examples before
Sure.
we kind of jump into our second half of our
Sure. So the first one that we have is something that we'll see is sort of a trend, is our reeded doors. So we picked, in this example, a white reeded door, but you can do any color. So, and then we found some great bold or some soft wallpaper, so we can hold up our door to the wallpaper. And then if you really don't want to take the risk, we can do a plain white counter. But this one is something that I love that's just got a bit of movement in it. And you can take that reeded door trend, but yet still have a very safe room with it. And then in a few years, if the reeded door is gone, you just replace the cabinet door with a different one. So you can have some fun with it, whether it's something there or something here. It's very easy to do. So that's an easy way for people that are a little scared of trends to take it to the next level.
All right, so we have another example here of how you can adapt trends to suit different people.
And so this is also taking the white reeded door, slipping it in here with a little bit more of a bold pattern. You can still use your white counter and sort of just put that all together to take even one notch bolder for everybody. And then if they want to go bolder yet in Zona Vida, we can pull in some of our Zona Vida colors for it to take it to another level of boldness.
Yeah, or add different texture.
And exactly, different textures, all the different colors, all the rest of it. In Zona Vida, we also have this door here, which would look really great with the wallpaper here.
Yeah, those vertical lines.
And then if I move away from this one, I've got a couple other here that I've got together. So this is where I think we've got some satin sheen. Whoops, I lost my paint chip. In the reeded door.
This one?
Yes. So we can put a reeded here. And then we've got the satin sheen, which would look great too. Again, we can even use the same counter, but just change it up a notch and give them that little bit of texture and trends, you know, with the stiles and rails and then the reeded. So, and the satin sheen. So you've got 3 different ones in there.
Yeah, it's a really great blend of something familiar with something new.
Yeah, and a little bit taking that extra step than that first white one that we did. And then we've got one here in navy that we picked out. And this is using the navy Zona Vida UV lacquer. And so like what a fun piece of wallpaper to do with the navy in a powder room or in a laundry room, and that where you can have some fun and there's some interest. And then again, you can take your same white countertop, making it safe, but taking that bold choice and using some of the trends. And using the UV lacquers is a perfect way to sort of have a great, well-made cabinet with
nice matte finish.
Exactly, a nice matte finish. So
awesome, I love that one.
And then this one, we're taking everything up a notch.
Yep.
So we could put the white reeded with it again to have that, take the same white reeded to the boldest level yet that we found for it. And taking that up the notch with the clients along with the counter. And if we want to take it to the Zona Vida level, we've got this great black, and look at how beautiful that is together and what a great look. So you can just keep switching it up and taking it bolder depending on what your clients love.
Yeah, I love the like wood textures here.
Yeah, the textures in the Zona Vida line are so great. And then once again, Zona Vida is only case band matching, so you can flip it out for a flat door without a pattern down the road if that trend changes. And then we have another safe book.
Safer options.
Safer options, funner options here. So this time what we did is we found this piece here. We've picked our counter and we can put in our reeded doors. Sam's got the satin sheen on the other side. Trying to hold everything so we don't lose it.
Here, we got this. Can
And
do one or the other.
you can have a really fun look with this and take it to the next level.
And these are some of our most popular wood stain colors.
Absolutely. The wood stain, you know, for a while we were white and gray, white and gray, white and gray. Then we were white, 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 white. But the medium tone is coming in stains, and we're selling so much more stain.
Should I go grab our other clay color there as well? Let's pop up that down.
This clay color is the color that was all over your Kachina in 2024, and we loved it. This one is a sample in our satin sheen. And our sheens, you can do a satin, which is a lower degree, our regular 12-degree sheen, or you could even put a gloss on it. We loved this one. and we found the most amazing wallpaper that we loved that you can add to the room. I'll give you this one. And then I love this counter. So we can have a really bold look here. We've got another counter option. And you can tone it up or down, but it's a great way. And this clay is such a popular color. We're seeing it all over. And we're even seeing it where I've seen people put it in high gloss too. You can do it in reeded. You can do so much with it. And it's just a fun trend that's out right now that can make such a difference.
So as we can see, custom cabinetry really can adapt to trends and allows designers to create this balance of innovation and comfort for their homeowners. Do you think designer or client hesitation can come from decision fatigue because there's so many options, or is really that just the job of the designer to only show the homeowner what is relevant?
I think that's one of the toughest jobs for designers. Because you could have a client that wants 100 million things and is hard to come to a decision. In our Spring Academy XP last year, Holly did a presentation and she said, and this has really struck with me, I only give them 2 options. So she says, I get to know them and we whittle it down and then I give them 2 options. And I thought that was a great way to sort of help it narrow down for some of those clients. And I'm sure our designers get to know who, by pretty instantaneously, who's fast at making decisions, who needs more info, and all the rest of it. And it depends on the person's personality, how much info they need and like. But I think that is a great way to sort of help narrow it down for those people that really struggle to make a decision.
I was talking with a designer at KBiz, and they were basically sharing the importance of having a diverse showroom to be able to show and have designers and have customers interact with cabinetry, interact with the different finishes and colors. Some people are very visual and they need to see things before they can jump onto a trend. Do you think it's important for designers to keep their showrooms up to date?
Oh, absolutely. Like, it is such an easy way and to sort of take it to that next level and give them some options. And I have a quick story. I was helping shortly after I started, and we launched our 58 standard colors. One of our designers was opening a new showroom. And so as she was going about it, I, before they were launched, took our 58 colors out to try to get use some of those new standard colors just to bring out a little bit more life to their showroom. I definitely was the more bold person in the colors, but when you start using it and getting used to it, it makes you feel comfortable. And recently, Lisa won an award with a mid-century modern that she had some of the medium tone woods, but she had a green in there and just took it up a notch and learned to love those colors. And I think that's really fun.
I think even with our own showroom project, we've had varying different opinions on some of the brighter colors, the pink, the blue, the yellow that we've chosen throughout the years. So I think just it's okay to be afraid of the trend. It's okay to have that hesitation, but to just push those boundaries and challenge those traditional mindsets a little bit.
Absolutely. And you know, as the team was picking colors, they looked right through what was current in Europe, what was trending in Europe, what was coming in Europe, and how we can follow and sort of have something that you can do that with. So at KBiz this year, there is a lot of the plums and the pinks and some maroon. Sort of purple maroon tones. We've sort of gone through a lot of greens. I know I liked having the vining ivy because it gives that sort of that medium layer in there, just to take it up a notch and not be afraid of it. And I think it's if we show our confidence in the color, then it's easy to pass it on to the clients.
A big trend coming up and that keeps continuing is earth tones, bringing nature inside. And I think a lot of those red clay colors, the greens, the plums, a lot of that can be reflected in nature. And I think that's also a good way to just reinforce that nature doesn't go out of style.
Yes, and that's another thing that, as you can see over here with the clay and the terrace and the satin sheen, that brings in that nature. You feel like you've got it in your home. And then in Zona Vida with some of the finishes we're doing too. And it's also a trend, we've seen a lot of green in the last couple of years to bring that green in. And use lighting and windows to sort of create that whole mood and atmosphere. And it is one of the big trends that we are definitely seeing out there.
So we talked a little bit about having confidence, but what are some ways that designers can help build trust when introducing these new trends with their clients?
I think it's getting to know the client and building that relationship with them. And it's really, I think that's a huge challenge for the designers because they don't always have all the time in the world to do so. They're busy, they got to keep moving. And then so I think it's getting to know them and getting them to sort of bring in some of their favorite things, or letting them roam around your showroom and take a look and then see where they gravitate to. I helped someone pick paint colors, and it was a couple, and they're had vastly different. And so then we narrowed it down and brought it together. And it took a bit of time, but then we found one that they both could love. And so I think it's the same thing with designers and showrooms. It's just narrowing it down, and it takes time. But I know the designers we work with are so good at that, and their projects are stunning. And they're able to tailor them. I think we have an example of the apothecary look that Carrie did in her kitchen, and I think it's stunning. This might not be the kitchen for everybody, but I think this kitchen's absolutely stunning, and I really love it. And it's a bit of a risk, but it's getting to know those clients and giving them that little bit of uniqueness that's them, because everybody should show their personality.
I know exactly what kitchen you're talking about. I love it. The little drawers.
Yeah,
that look is so beautiful. And the white cabinetry is such a modern take of those like rich dark brown apothecary boxes that you can see from like vintage shops.
Yeah, so it was I just thought it was a brilliant way to show that off. So I was really impressed with that. And there's so many designs when we talk about white rift oak and how many people are using white rift oak, and some of the projects. There's a project that Tahani did that I absolutely love too, and it's an open concept home, and it just that kitchen is just showing off, and the homeowners absolutely love it. So that's the satisfaction at the end of the day.
Yeah, and those really unique designs really do come from learning about your client and getting to know them and allowing them to really show off their personality, because I'm pretty sure they didn't walk into the show and be like, I want an apothecary cabinet. Maybe they did, but maybe that was something that was discovered through their connections.
Yes, absolutely.
How can we encourage designers not to default to something that's comfortable and just explore new designs and new trends?
And I think that's our job at Decor, is making them aware of what is out there and what they can do and what we can find for them. And I get calls on a regular basis. Do you have anything like this? Or have you seen this? Or could I do this? And so we find those calls all the time, and we love them because it makes us better. Yeah. And then it helps, get your designs out and get your vision out. And we love that. So, for me, that's the best way, is reach out, let us know, and we'll do our best to find what you're looking for.
Or give you the best, closest option with what we can offer.
Absolutely.
On that topic, Custom by Decor gives designers a lot of ideas for custom work and what we can do, but it saves them a little bit of time with having the custom drawings already completed. I know I've heard designers really talk about that as a great resource for inspiration and just seeing what's possible with custom cabinetry.
The feedback on our Custom by Decor is amazing. There's so many, I'm going to use hoods because we've got a ton of hoods on the website. And then it can help. And it's funny, once people start looking through it, they're like, oh, here's this hood. I like this one. And then the CAD drawing's there. You can take a look at it and then just send in your measurements, and we can create their own custom hood. And, as a client, this is my hood. This is my custom hood. It's not in every kitchen. This is mine. And that's what I think some homeowners absolutely love.
And they know it's specifically made just for them.
Right. And we have done everything you can imagine, including cutout for cats. And
A little litter box.
a little litter box.
hideaway.
Yes. And we had one that Lee did not too long ago. Candace did the presentation on designing for your pets at KBIS. So there's just, the possibilities are endless.
They truly are. And I think Custom by Decor really allows homeowners to get those custom elements without holding their project back too long because of extra drawing time or lead time extensions for that.
Yeah, the custom, having those CAD drawings there, you can mark them as your favorite, send them into your CSR, and they can just adjust the sizing, and it's easy, it's done.
Yeah. Do you have any examples of a designer that you've worked with who was maybe initially hesitant to a trend, but then maybe came around to the design change once they started getting a little bit more comfortable with it?
So I'm going to tell you about a designer, and he is in a fairly classic area. And through COVID, the lead times got quite long for our decor cabinet line. So he tried Zona Vida. And he's like, I like Zona Vida. And then and as he moved forward, he's done more and more projects with Zona Vida. And I think that's really great. He's got Zona Vida as you go into his conference room. It's on the back wall. It's at a beverage center in front. And those little things are thinking outside the box. And he told me about a client, and he said for sure, she was probably close to in her 70s and was more traditional. She saw his Zona Vida display and said, that's what I want. And so I think it's really cool sort of to push yourself a little bit. And you think, people won't want Zona Vida if they're older. It's easy to clean. It's such much easier maintenance. And so you can clean it and walk away and go travel and do all those things.
Great for all ages.
Yes.
And all family dynamics or styles. It's quite adaptable.
Yes. And so for me, that's one thing that I get really excited when, a designer's being a traditional decor designer, but we'll go to Zona Vida and think outside the box. We had one that took our Zona Vida and made panels out of it for the wall of a dining room. So I think those things are exciting.
So let's wrap up this conversation with a few more examples of traditional design choices that maybe were a trend a few years back that have really evolved into the mainstream. Something that I think of is floating shelves. I know a few years ago they were just a new trend, and now I'm hard pressed to find a kitchen in our Elite Design Awards submissions that don't have floating shelves.
Yes, floating shelves have been in. Now, I was listening to some trends that are saying that floating shelves are maybe on their way out. So I was a bit surprised that, our floating shelves with our integrated lighting are amazing. And I think what's happened in kitchens, for example, we went where we had a lot of floating shelves and they get dusty and you have to clean them. So I think that floating shelf maybe has pared back where there's not a whole wall of floating shelves. Maybe there's just
we went really hard with it for a minute there.
Yeah.
We really maybe implemented it.
Yeah, it went a little
extent.
crazy. But so it's a pared down version where it might be one long shelf with a hood in the middle and things like that. So I think it's fun, and I think it's just taking that sort of those things and easing them out, and the lighting that goes with it. And one of the trends that I've seen is on moodier kitchens, and you can create those moodiness with, some of the wallpapers, whether it's on a ceiling or the paint colors, even of an island that might be a bit different, or Zona Vida with some texture in it. And the biggest way to create it in my mind is with the lighting, and you can have so much fun with the lighting, whether I've seen them in Lazy Susans, I've seen them under floating shelves, under your cabinets, in your pantries. There's just so many places, which really helps and create that mood lighting even in your toe kicks. So
Yes, integrated lighting is a whole design concept in itself. Really important to think about that when designing kitchens.
yeah,
And it's just becoming more and more of a trend, a staple really, to have that integrated. Another one I think of is flat panel or flat front cabinet doors. See those even combined with more intricate door styles or with a shaker, just on their own. I know that was something that maybe people were a bit hesitant on, especially in the traditional spaces, but they can really be implemented in a variety of ways.
Yes. So behind us, we have our traditional 5-piece kitchen. And then with our clay sample, we have just a narrow stiles and rails on it to sort of show off that difference. And then we have lots of flat panel too. And that just gives that really clean, modern look. And you can have so much fun with it. And you can combine it. You know, as we've laid out things here, you can combine, a flat panel color on your island and read it on your wall, or vice versa. And then the same with the Zona Vita UV lacquer here. Amazing design, amazing look, and it just shows it all off.
Right, and I think that's the benefit with custom cabinetry is you can mix and match, you can create custom looks, you can implement trends to whatever level you're comfortable with, and there's going to be something available there for you. So as we're talking about these trends that are evolving and different custom options, you mentioned how cabinetry can be used in your whole home. What are some of those custom features that you can implement in a bathroom, for example, that might differ from a kitchen?
Well, one of the things that in the bathroom that I love is that, and I know that there is some difference in electrical codes depending where you are, but you can open that drawer and you have a spot for your blow dryer and your curling iron, so the cords aren't on your counter all the time because you've designed a beautiful bathroom. You don't want to see that stuff, so you can hide it away, have your plugins in there. And I think that's a fun way in your bathroom to really make it customized for you.
Yeah, cord management for hair appliances is a whole thing in itself.
It is. And even, the toothbrush holders, everybody has electric toothbrush holders, and just, and unplugging this cord to put another cord in. So it's just fun to have that hidden away. And one thing too that we, customization is that butler's pantry. Some people call it the dirty kitchen. Some people call it the working kitchen. But that is just a great way for homeowners, especially who love to cook or to bake, to have that area that they can make just for them, for what they use on that day-to-day basis. So if you're a baker, you can have your mixer out and your bowls and things right there for you to make it easy, quick and easy for you, and make it as you like it. And then still your kitchen, your main kitchen, is clean and beautiful. And I always think that after dinner parties, I'd love to have a rollaway that I could take into my butler's pantry and hide all those dishes on, so that you can sit at the table, enjoy each other's company, and not see the mess.
Yeah, or even when you're making a charcuterie board, you have all of the packaging, you have all these half-used blocks of cheese and salami rolls, and you could just keep all of that tucked away and then bring out your charcuterie board to your clean, nice front kitchen and keep the mess for the back.
Yeah, exactly. So I love it. I being in the food industry for so many years, and a lot of restaurants in the basement was the real working kitchen, and I think homeowners are really embracing that too. We see so many of it, and it's nice because you can hide it away with a flat panel door that people don't even realize it's behind.
Right, it can be really hidden in the walk-through doors.
Yes,
and especially integrated toe kits. Toe kicks can make it seem very seamless.
Yeah, it's a great way to sort of hide that and keep those things out. And it's not always easy to pull your mixer out, but when you've got it and it can sit there all the time, it just saves time and energy, and you're back.
Yeah, and it's another opportunity of a smaller space. You can really unleash creativity. You can have a bright color. I know in the showroom here we have our bright blue butler's kitchen. I think that's an area to experiment a little bit.
Absolutely. You can have fun and show off the things that mean a lot to you, because cooking, that's what brings our families and friends together. So you can have so much fun with it.
Right. I think if it's one place to go bold, a kitchen is
Yeah.
probably one of the better places to do so, because everyone's going to see it. Not everyone might see your third bathroom upstairs or your bedroom. All right, thank you so much for joining us today for Kitchen Design Week. Thank you, Bev, for joining me. If you're a design center owner or own a showroom, or maybe even are an independent designer, I hope there was something that you can take from this to challenge some of those traditional concepts in your mind, to implement new trends, and just get inspired about kitchen design again. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you check out some of the other sessions for Kitchen Design Week later.